gorgeous, Gordon. Good for you. I wish I could grow that type of mustache. But look, coming off the bench would be great. Those 10 to 15 minutes until he builds up, the ability to really play big minutes, that's what they should do. But those guys need it. They have so many guys that are playing 39-plus minutes. That break would be huge for those guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I want to revisit the Clippers, who, of course, blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets, in case you haven't heard enough about that by now. This was considered to be a championship roster. So, Perk, where do the Clippers go from here? What changes, if any, are necessary?
The bench. You gotta change the bench. Reggie Jackson gotta go, Montrezl Harrell gotta go, and Lou Will gotta go. None of those guys provided the production that the Clippers needed. Lou Will was MIA for the entire playoffs, and Reggie Jackson had got benched a couple of times where he got DMP. So they need to look to upgrade their bench. I'm sorry, Lou Will just don't have it anymore.
Perk, I love you to death. You my guy. But did you just say they need to replace the 2 6 men of the year, like the last? Look, they don't need to make any changes. What they need to do is they need to just run it back. I believe that this team has all the talent to run it back. They need to have some more continuity. They need to work on some things. But Doc Rivers is a great coach. They have a very good bench, and they have a ton of talent up top. But they all need to play better, and Doc needs to actually do some more improvements and adjustments.
No, this is not a popularity contest, RJ. Just because they have the household names,
I mean,
that
look,
don't
part of
make
the question
them good,
about whether
okay?
you replace Montrezl or Lou is who are you replacing them with?
No one.
They just don't have that much flexibility to do that kind of thing right now because they gave all their future picks to Oklahoma City. Their salary is, that cap is all stacked up. Now, they would have a mid-level exception, but it's not a great free agency class coming out. They have a couple pieces they could move around, but that's always my question when people say, we need to change the coach, we need to change the bench, we need to change the players. Who are you changing them for? So it's going to be a tricky problem.
There's no one, Rach. There's no one, Rach. What you got to do is you got to allow this team to grow, like a lot of championships teams do. You look at the Miami Heat, and they lost in the finals, and then they went to 3 more finals, and they won 2 championships. You still have to give this team time to grow and to gel together.
No. When you form a super team, it's either championship
not in one year. Not in year one. It is championship or bust, but not in year one.
RJ, these guys are not in their 20s. We're talking about guys that are 30-plus years old, guys that are in double-digit years in the league. It's championship or bust. You think that Steve Ballmer traded away all those picks to bring in Paul George, to say that this year was just a sample size type thing and we're going to wait till next year? No, their expectations this year was to win a championship.
It can be that this year was a huge disappointment and the prescription to try to change things for next year isn't to tear up the whole thing. Those two things can be true simultaneously. And again, to me, it just depends on what your options are. I'm not saying that the Clippers front office can't pull a rabbit out of its hat. We've certainly seen them do that before. But it will be a challenge. It is a challenge to move pieces around, especially right now for this team this offseason. I do want to get to the team that is advancing in the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets guard Jamal Murray called out the media after the win last night. Take a listen.
You got Shaq, you got Charles, you got, I think Zach Lowe's his name, I don't even know. Stephen A, all y'all better start giving this team some damn respect because we put in the work and we got a resilient team and, we shouldn't have been down 3-1, but to come back from 3-1 against the Clippers, it was a big achievement.
Richard, I'm supposed to ask you after that, how worried should the Lakers be about the Nuggets? But